I'm also curious to see how Tua does. I think Tua's gonna step into that Dolphins starting role week one. I think he's gonna be the starter for that team.
I don't. I think they kept Ryan Fitzpatrick around. I think they're going to try to follow what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes and maybe have him sit a year, learn a little bit, especially since he's coming off a college career that had a lot of injuries. I think they want to give him a full year of preparation and sort of rest. Obviously, he'll still be working out with the team. He'll still be the backup unless something happens to Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I feel like at least for the first half of the season, you're going to see Ryan Fitzpatrick as that quarterback. I do think Tua gives them a better chance to win, but I feel like that's not what the Dolphins are trying to do at the moment.
I don't know about that. Ryan Fitzpatrick started what the first 3 games last year before he was subbed out.
Yeah, and then he got subbed back in next week. So
Yeah, because their backup was bad too. I think Tua comes in. Maybe he doesn't start the first game, but he's gonna come in. I think he's gonna start week one. I do. I think Tua's gonna start week one. The that is
well,
his
they
team.
already said that Fitzpatrick's the starter week one.
Yeah, but everyone says that. It's the same way like the Chargers said that they're going with like Justin Herbert's not gonna be the number one, but I don't think he's gonna be the number one until like week 7.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the same
I
thing with
I
Tua.
think I don't know. Cause hey, but like Justin Herbert, he's behind Tyrod Taylor, right?
Yeah,
I think Tyrod Taylor's a much better quarterback than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick has his moments, but I just Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a quarterback to really be behind. He's not one who's just gonna teach you or like you're gonna learn
I
a ton
I
from.
mean he's been a journeyman. He's done that for so many quarterbacks throughout his career. Obviously he's been a person that wants to start himself, which is why he's traveled. But I think the Dolphins they don't want to risk the injury with Tua. They don't want to rush him into a spot where he gets hurt because they still have problems on that offense. If he goes in, he's a high chance of getting hit in a certain way and ending his season, and then he can't even learn. I feel like you put him in the backup. If he has to play, he has to play, and that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. Like okay, I agree with your point that on the at the offensive end, he's gonna have his struggles because that offense is just not that great. Like Kenny Stills is a great wide
He's on the
receiver,
Texans now.
but the rest of that offense, you are 100%. I am thinking of Devontae
Devontae
Parker.
Parker, yep.
Devontae Parker, a very good wide receiver, but that's just one player. You also have Jaceki. I think Jaseki's a pretty good tight end, but like that's two out of the remaining 9 players on the field,
Mm-hmm.
and like their offensive line isn't that good. They invested everything in that defense.
Yeah.
I think their defense is going to be good, which they're going to win a lot of games because of their defense. Very similar to the way the Bills were last year. Like their defense was, in my opinion, one of the main reasons they did as good as they did. I think that's going to be very similar to the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins are going to have as great of a year, but I do think Tua comes in and he starts week one.
No, but
I mean, yeah, like they said they want Fitzpatrick to start, but that's like every team is going to say that.
I don't know. The
Okay,
Bengals didn't do that.
unless you're the Bengals. Okay, yeah, but unless you're the Bengals, they invested everything like in Joe Burrow, and everyone's expecting Joe Burrow to do big things. But I also see Tua coming in starting week one.
I mean, I feel like he deserves to, but I feel like the Dolphins, who have been looking for a quarterback for so long, they don't want to risk the chance of ruining the only franchise quarterback potential they've had in probably 10 plus years now.
Yeah, but they're always up there. They can always grab another quarterback if it doesn't work out. Let's be real. The way that they've been playing, like last year was abysmal. They were terrible.
I mean, they picked it up at the
And
end, though. Like the first half of their
yeah,
season, they were
at the
trash,
end,
but
it was bad. It was extremely bad.
yeah. But they worked it back, and that was a team that the ownership was like, we're going to put out probably one of the worst teams we could put out, and we're going to try to lose. And you have Brian Flores, the head coach, just not want to lose, and you have Ryan Fitzpatrick, a player who doesn't want to lose, and they end up finishing still towards the bottom. I forget how many wins they had exactly, but they get the fifth draft pick when obviously you could tell that the ownership had tried to set them up for try to get that number one. They still end up with their guy Tua, but they won games even though they shouldn't have, with probably one of the worst rosters out on the field.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't know. It's a very weird situation because I feel like Ryan Fitzpatrick is obviously at the tail end of his career. I don't think I understand what you mean, and most rookie quarterbacks, like the way Justin Herbert is most likely going to start, and the same way Jordan Love is going to start under Tyrod Taylor and under Aaron Rodgers. I feel it's who is in a position where he can come in and he could start week one. Like I don't think Justin Herbert comes in and they're looking at Justin Herbert to even, no matter what he does in practice, I feel like it doesn't matter. Where Tua, if he comes in practice and the Dolphins are like, yo, he's better than we really thought. He's gonna excel at this level. Why would they not just play him? I understand the whole development thing, but like if he's way better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, which I kind of think he is, like I would just start Tua. Starting week one, there's no reason to be like, oh, we're going to the season and just rest.
Yeah, but it's
They
it's not
think
even just the rest part. If you look, a lot of quarterbacks that are drafted, unless you're like the number one overall pick, you're expected to start. A lot of quarterbacks drafted in the first round, they still go on to sit that first year. It's very common for quarterbacks to sit that first year. Look at quarterbacks that haven't. You have Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen when he was with the Cardinals that first year. The quarterbacks, they look terrible. They get bashed on. There's not too many quarterbacks that start their first year and look like they're their franchise quarterback. And I feel like that's hurts them in a way. It does help them. They get some playing time and stuff, but they do during the preseason. They still get their practices throughout the year. It's very common for a rookie quarterback to sit the first year.
no, it is. I see Tua and Joe Burrow starting for their teams. I think they're the best option for both of their teams, and I don't think it's really that close, to be honest. I feel like it's very like looking at the roster. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tua. I feel like I would take Tua 10 out of 10 times. Like yeah, he has a little injury, like he's a little injury prone.
Yeah, but why would you put him out there at a risk of getting hurt when you know this team isn't gonna win?
Yeah, but see, like, I feel like they invested a lot in their defense. They have a very very good chance to win. Like they invested so much into that defense, so much.
Yeah, but you have no one to block. You traded Laramie Tunsil, your best offensive lineman, to get one of the first round picks. You drafted a defensive player with that pick. You lost
Oh,
that.
they drafted a tackle.
They drafted a tackle, but he's not one of the top tackles. He's not a NFL ready tackle.
Yeah, but that's just because of where that pick was. It's the 18th pick.
Yeah,
They had Austin Jackson.
and
That's the only
he
reason.
probably wasn't even a first round talent. They drafted him because they needed him. If you look, those first round talent guys, they all were gone within the top 13 picks.
Yeah, well, he's the next best one. Well, okay, you're not gonna sit there and you're not gonna like wait it went Andrew Thomas, um, Jedrick Wills, Becton, and Wirfs, and then it went to Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like this. I feel like this is a very heavy offensive line class, like at the tackle and guard position, and I feel like Austin Jackson is a very good pick for the Dolphins. I don't think he's gonna be bad, but I feel like he's not gonna have like this incredible impact. He's gonna be solid, like he's gonna be a stud for them, but he's not gonna be like incredible.
It,
I still feel like Tua comes in and he starts. I just think that I don't know. I just think he comes in and he starts. I would start Tua over Fitzpatrick.
I just don't see the Dolphins making that mistake. And they already said they weren't. I know some teams say it and it ends up happening, but he didn't even have the offseason to prove himself. He has a 2.5, 3 week training camp, and that's it.
I mean, I agree with you. It's obviously very different with the circumstances, but I also feel like the same thing can happen with Justin Herbert. I think like it's not like the Chargers and the Dolphins for Tua and Justin Herbert. Obviously, like they don't have like with Philip Rivers leaving the Chargers. I feel like that QB position's open. I feel like the Dolphins QB position is open. I'm not saying they're going to go in and make a giant impact, but I feel like they could easily go in the training camp whenever that starts, and they could fight. That could be like they could be like, oh, this is my spot. Like they can cement themselves as that starting QB. I'm not. I think Tua's going to be. I don't. I do not think Justin Herbert's going to be, but he very well can come in and just take that spot away from Tyrod Taylor.
I don't know if you hear both franchises talk about it, they're confident with their quarterbacks from and Tyrod Taylor and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Obviously, the younger guys are going.
Why
to be
would you
their future.
not be? Why would you not be? You're not gonna say like, oh yeah, like we don't even like we don't believe in this guy, which is why we drafted this quarterback. You're not gonna say that as an organization.
Teams do it all the time. Anytime you draft a young quarterback, I mean, to be fair, the Packers pissed off Aaron Rodgers.